You're hungry? Come. Come, come. Ella. Ella, mew, mew. Ella. Elate, elate. Perimene, perimene. Ella. Ella. Ya lo telis. Aquí. Ella. Ella. So those are the cats that we feed here in the neighborhood. This one here is one that brought those kittens. That black one is still a baby. Here comes Spotty. Yes, you Spotty. And actually, we started with one cat. She came and she was very hungry, and one of our neighbors started feeding the cat, and then before long we had many. So we usually have dry food around the house. I have that. It's almost finished now. I have to get some more. So because sometimes they come so hungry and maybe you don't have anything in the fridge to give them, so we usually just have dry food for emergency. But they're not actually our cats. They're now used to humans, because before we just used to put the food and then they'll run. When they see us around, they run away and then come back and eat food when we are not there. But now I think they're used to humans. Here comes another one. Hey. So yeah, all the neighbors leave the food around. Hey, Spotty, Stamata. We leave the food around, and then and some water for the animals, and then they can have something to eat and drink. So it's actually depressing sometimes, because you see them and they are so hungry. And well, these ones are not so bad because all the neighbors have been putting food out and water and everything, so they are not really that bad. But as you walk around the island, or when you're driving around, you'll see a lot of homeless animals, dogs, cats. And if you're an animal lover, you will feel like, like helpless. And Nero, Elis Nero, Ella, Neraki. Okay, that's it. Hi, my name is Rose, and welcome to Palestine Crete YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about the island of Crete, and we cover topics like moving to Crete, living on the island, and we also give tips to people who are visiting the island of Crete. Now, today's video, we are going to talk about the homeless cats and dogs of Crete and how you can help. Okay? When you're driving through the island, you're going to notice that there are so many homeless animals, dogs, cats, and if you like animals, you're going to find it a bit stressful seeing all those animals. Now, although you can adopt some and give them a home, which is really nice, there's still more that needs to be done. And we've seen many people who come here and they adopt like 15 cats and 3 dogs or something like that. Now, although it's good to give those cats home, there's still so many, and there are some things that you can do to help so we can lower the numbers of homeless dogs and cats. Now, one of the things you can do is to support the animal shelters that we have here. Now, one thing you're going to notice is that even if you see a homeless dog, if you contact the shelter, they're probably not going to do anything because they have so many animals and they're actually overwhelmed. We had a situation here where a dog just showed up, and we had not seen that dog before, and he looked very friendly, like he didn't look very wild like some of them do. So we knew that it hasn't been homeless for long. And one of the things that is really sad, some people do adopt their animals, and then maybe for some reason they have to leave the island. And what happens is, since they got that animal from the streets, they just let it go. And I think that is one of the most cruel thing you can do to the animal, because now you have adopted it, you have showed it how it is to have a home, and it has food and everything, and then suddenly the animal finds itself again back in the streets, and life could really be tough. So I think if you cannot have an animal or take it with you, if you decide to move out of the island, I think it's better you just leave it alone. Maybe put food outside, like by the trash bins, and put some water like we do, so at least those animals can have something to eat and something to drink. But don't bring the animal inside your house to just later let it go, and that, I think that is terrible. So if you can help the shelters by maybe donating or even volunteering your time to go and just help take care of the animals, things like that, that would be of good help. And I'm going to link my blog post which I wrote about this topic, and it has a lot of links that will help you, links that will take you to the websites of those animal shelters here on Crete. I have different links for shelters located in different locations on this island. So that you can do, and you can check them out and see what you can do. So the cats are still playing around. Another thing I have noticed is that most people, they get their animals and then they don't treat the animals, meaning they don't take care of the cat so it doesn't make more babies. And what happens is, when the cat make the babies, they put the babies in a box and just leave them somewhere, maybe by the trash bins or just somewhere. Like we had a situation here where there were 5 kittens just left here in the neighborhood, and we already had so many cats, we didn't know what to do. But luckily we were able to feed them, and they grew up and they just left on their own. So that was that. At the moment we have, oh my goodness, we have so many because they come and go, but we do have about 5 that stay around here. Right now I'm looking at about 1, 2, 3, I'm looking about 4 now. They come around, if there is food they eat, we have water, I have water there. Our neighbors, they always keep water everywhere and food. And as I said, if you don't have something in the fridge, sometimes these cats will come and they are so hungry, they look so weak. So we usually have dried food just in case. As I said, we are not cat owners, but we do the best we can because we just have to look after the animals. Now, one of our neighbors volunteered and took 2 of the cats to the vet. They were treated. One of them is Spotty, the one I just showed you. That one has been to the vet. She has been treated, and we do feed her, and she looks really healthy. She's not gonna, I don't think she will be bringing any more babies around, so I think that's good. Yes, as I said, there's a problem here where people have dogs and they have cats, but they never get them taken care of as far as making new puppies, and that's why we have so many homeless dogs and homeless cats on the island. So as I said, if you can adopt a dog or a cat, I think it would be nice to sponsor one more animal to be treated. That way we can lower the numbers. Because even if you adopt 15 cats or 20 cats, we'll still have many homeless cats around because, as I said, there's one who keeps bringing kittens. Last year she brought 3 and then she brought 4. So I think, and the problem with that one is because she's still quite wild, so it's difficult to to get her to the vet. But there's a neighbor right now. She's I haven't seen her for a while actually. She'll probably come back with more kittens. I don't know. So the neighbor says when she comes over, the neighbor will try to see if we can get her to the vet, and it's the cats I'm watching, they're playing. So yeah, there are many things you can do to help the homeless cats and the dogs, and as I said, one of them is to help those shelters that take them to the doctors and just to have them taken care of. One another thing I want to mention is that if you live here on Crete and you're used to like having dogs in the house and the dogs are taken care of and they are sort of like part of the family, there are places where you might go for a walk and you might find dogs in chains, and that could disturb you a lot, because I know there's some animal lovers out there who really get stressed if they see animals in such conditions. But here on Crete, there are some people who own dogs for, I guess, they're not actually pets. They don't keep them as pets. They have them in the fields. They have them in chains because they say it's for security purposes. And when you come across those dogs, you might feel a bit down, but it is what it is. You will see those dogs. I have seen many on my walks. I see them in the fields in chains. Yeah, that's how it is. There are people who have dogs that they keep in the house as pets, and they also have other dogs that they keep in the fields. So yeah, another thing I have noticed is that there are some people who see the homeless dogs and then they take them in and then they put them in chains. I saw one incident here where somebody just picked up the homeless dog, gave the dog some food and some water, and then put the dog in chains, and that dog was traumatized, because I mean, okay, fine, the dog is homeless, but he has his freedom. And now you have put him in chains, and that I think that is absolutely terrible. It's better to just give the dog some food and some water, and just like, if there's nothing else you can do, like if you can't like take him to the vet and get him cleaned and treated and maybe make him into your family dog, if you can't do that, I don't think it's fair to just take the dog and just put him in chains, because he's used to his freedom. So yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I know this is it's a sensitive topic, and I could have got some footage from the places where I go for walks, because I always have my phone with me, but I knew if I put that footage here, it could really be disturbing to some viewers who get really stressed when they see animals in such conditions. But I am telling you that when you go for your walks, you will see animals in chains. You will meet up with homeless dogs. And I want to mention that if you see a homeless dog, please don't approach the dog, okay? That animal is a wild animal. Don't try to pet it. The dog has been through a lot. It's not friendly. It could get aggressive, so don't try to do anything to the dog. If you see a homeless dog coming around your neighborhood, just leave the food outside and don't do anything to the dog. Just leave the food and the dog will have the food, and slowly, they do sometimes slowly come around and they start getting used to seeing you, and they might not run away when they see you, but they're still wild. And as I said, they've gone through a lot, so they don't think humans are very nice. And yeah, as I mentioned, there are some people who take those homeless dogs and they show them good life, and they bring them in their homes, and then afterwards they let them go, and that is also terrible. So don't, if you can't take care of the dog, and if you decide to move out of the island, if you cannot take the dog with you, or you cannot make arrangements for the dog to be taken care of by somebody else, then it's better you don't adopt the dog. Okay, don't bring it to your house. Just don't do anything. Just give food, leave the food and water by the trash bins or by your neighborhood, wherever you leave your food. We have arrangements here. As I said, everybody has their own spot outside where we leave the food and the water for the animals, and that's it. That way the animal will not get used to being in the house, and then suddenly in the winter or in the summer, in this heat, the dog is outside and suffering and everything, or in the winter the dog is out in the cold. I don't think that is a good idea. So yeah, I'm going to leave those links below, as I mentioned, so you can take a look. And you can also read my blog post, which has even more details, so you can read that at your own pace. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please subscribe to my channel, and please, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you on my next one. This is Rose. Bye bye for now.